across America to small towns and partnering with people who live in those small towns to help showcase or amplify their story, right? Give them a voice, show America what it is like still for the queer experience in so many places that we oftentimes forget about. We think, oh, we've progressed, we got these certain rights and everything, but there's still a struggle, there's still a fight. There are people still living day to day in communities that don't understand, accept, or support them. And that's why we show up. So this show, I was listening to you earlier as I was signing in and hearing everything about the inclusion on this show. And that's one of the most, proud things about this show for me, to be able to be a part of it. Growing up in a small town myself, I grew up in Paris, Texas. I know, shout out Paris, Texas, everybody. Growing up in Paris, there wasn't a lot of queer gay representation or visibility in our local community or on television and in film at the time. And so I know what an impact this show like this could have had on someone like me, and I'm happy to be a part of giving that, now to other people, being able to watch the show, no matter what walk of life you're from, no matter who you are, no matter how old you are, no matter where you come from, this show has the ability to touch and make you feel.
And you, Bob and Eureka, can I just say, shout out to you guys' intro for every episode. It's so bomb. It's so cool. First of all, the confidence, number one, I think is so dope for everybody to see. But how do you guys come up with exactly how you're going to do those intros, and how long does it take to film all that?
Ooh, well, each episode is about 10 days of production. And to give that in comparison, like RuPaul's Drag Race, for example, each episode takes about 2 days. Okay. But we're meeting with people. We have, we meet them in one stage in their life. And we hope that by the time we produce the drag show for the final night, they have had this, just whether it's a breakthrough or a realization about themselves and the strength that they have of overcoming issues. Maybe it's a coming out story. Maybe it is kind of being comfortable in their own community and feeling like they have a community of support around them. Whatever it is, we go through this journey with them. So it takes us about 10 days to shoot the show. And thank you for commenting about the intros, because, we have these amazing glam teams, designers, hair, wig stylists, assistants, and everyone who helps to create this hormone makeup artists that are brilliant, that create this opening for us to be able to, arrive. Because you ain't able to arrive in a city, you want to arrive.
Y'all arrive, and I love it. That's one of my favorite parts, because I never know. I'm always excited to once if you guys have not checked this out on HBO Max, when you open up the episode, it starts from the jump. You will not believe. You, Bob, and Eureka, I just that'll get you hooked in at just to begin with, because you never know how you guys are gonna arrive in this town, in these areas, and just the shock that it has to be with people that are just so close-minded. I think it's so dope the way you guys bring that intro in and bring in the drag shows and just open up a whole new world. And Sandra, I want to ask you, what for you, because it is so you guys are going so internal here and revealing so much. When was that moment for you where you were like, okay, I have this confidence, I want to go out and share this and bring this to different people in and throughout the country, and I don't care, because everybody's gonna have their opinion. You guys are so out there. There's so much room for that. So when did your comfort level come with doing a show like this?
Well, when the creators first pitched the show to me, I was like, I love this idea. I would love to do it. And I say that because, I lived this experience growing up. I'm from a small town. I know what it's like to be around people who are more conservative all around you, and that doesn't mean that there isn't support in your community. But when you don't have a gay bar, when you don't have a gay resource center, or just anywhere for people who have support for the LGBTQ community can come together and congregate, like-minded people, you don't have that. So you just don't know. You sit in your house thinking, well, they all hate me, or they don't agree with my way of life, so let me just shelter in place, And so I really had a great comfort level with this show the minute they called me for it, because I really knew the power they could have.
Yeah, I think that's it's so cool just to see. And I know I want to get to the Selma episode, because I definitely have to touch on that one, because I know there's a lot. If you guys haven't got lots of feedback for that, I know that's coming, because that was so powerful. You were working with Joseph. And
yes.
Just seeing, I don't know how you got through some of those scenes, to be honest, because just hearing his story and being able to share something like that, and just the idea of not having the Black and the queer experience to realize that it's one thing that everybody's going through. What was that like for you, being able to bring that story?
Well, Selma to me is one of the most powerful episodes of the entire season. And not only because we explore what it's like to be Black and queer in the South, in a conservative community like the one in Selma, Alabama, but also because it just lends this greater access to inclusion to our show. You know, it's like people, we forget how diverse sometimes the LGBTQ community is, not just being gay, but also different religions, different nationalities, and different races. And so all of those things play into anyone's experience as a young queer person. And I think our show is three things. It's educational for those who don't have no idea what's going on with the gays or anything else, you know, what the life is like and the challenges and the triumphs. It's educational, it's entertaining, and it's emotional. Because if you have a heart, you're going to feel something in watching this show, being empathetic toward people's struggles, but also watching their journey. And that's what this show is about. Selma is so important because not only the history of the city of Selma, so amazing already to have a backdrop like the city of Selma, but also to explore what it is, you know, these three people that we work with, what their stories were, what their experiences were, and how it could be very much like our own or completely different, so different than our experience that it makes you think and go, wow, I didn't even think of something like that. I didn't think that a trans woman in Selma would be going through the type of violence where she feels unsafe at all times. You know, Joseph was shot by his DO lover, but that shouldn't take anything away from who Joseph is as a person. Joseph was someone who wanted to be loved, didn't feel comfortable in his own skin and being out there and dating. And then, you know, after this tragic accident, this traumatic accident happened to him, you know, where he was almost murdered by the man that he loved, he's built up this wall of shelter for himself and safety. But our show is about the importance of community. And I think you and I know, as well as probably, hi y'all that are making comments.
Yeah, I was going to say, everybody's
I love it. So sweet.
Cry. I was like, it had me crying too. I was like, man, this one is tough.
Yeah, but you watch it and you go, the reason that we're crying is because our show is a real life docuseries. Okay, it's not scripted in any way. Bob and Eureka and I are not licensed life coaches or therapists in any way. We're just people who understand the world of drag, who understand what it's like to maybe have been turned away or looked at strange or discriminated against. And we want just everyone to feel at their best, to be able to perform at their best, to be supported at their best. And we call them, you know, they call us mama. And I'm like, ooh, I'm mighty young to have all these kids. But it's a great show. And that's why I think people like it.
And everybody's talking about it came at the right time. It absolutely did, because there's so much. I feel like now is the time. And maybe you call it, you know, everybody being stuck in the house for quarantine and all that kind of stuff. People are looking in the mirror now. And things that they were just brushing over before, that's no longer the case, or no longer being let to happen, which a show like this definitely corrects.
Well, and especially in the Black community, we are given even greater license to dream as big as we can. And a lot of times people feel locked in the fact of how big they can dream, because either A, they've been disappointed in their lives and they don't feel it's a reality. My most recent drag daughter, Case, in the Evansville, Indiana episode that just aired on HBO, right? Case is a gay, Muslim, Arabic-speaking man from Tunisia that came here that didn't feel safe because being gay is a criminal offense in Tunisia, in Northern Africa. And I may have to open the door and let Butters out, honey, because Butters is barking at the nail that must be coming through.
Butters was agreeing, that's all fine.
Don't go nowhere, because he gonna do
hey, go ahead.
Y'all don't go nowhere, I gotta let Butters out.
We got it, yep. See, Butters was agreeing with everything that was going on here. Thank you, everybody that's joining. We are talking about We're Here. Is going into its second season now on HBO Max. And I'm just so good to have Shangela with me today, because this is so dope to have Shangela. Oh, there she is. He's back.
Oh, yeah. I had to let Butters out the front door, honey. Butters had to go. The mailman was walking by, and baby, she got to bark at the mailman.
When the mail person walked by, hey, it's all barred in. It's all barred in.
Exactly. So, you know, I was just saying that the amazing thing about the show, and especially about Selma, it just gives you this amazing window into what our experience is. And in Selma, I was telling you about Case, sorry, excuse me, in Evansville, Indiana, I was telling you about Case and the fact that he did not believe that happiness was achievable in his life, just because of the way he grew up, because of the fear, because the you know, this much of a window to gay life and how it can be. It was all traumatic and all painful. And now, you know, after he sought asylum here, he's living his experience in the U.S. He most recently has moved from Indiana to L.A. and making his way, you know, as a young 23-year-old man, gay man, we're making his way through the world. But he has, because of this show and because of our partnership with him, you know, to see him live out his best dreams, he now has a new idea of what he can be.
Yeah.
And I think all of us, because like what you said, we've been looking in the mirror, we've been in the house, you know, we've been separated from each other. And now we're saying, you know what, who am I? What power do I have? What can I be? What can I dream? How hard do I want to work? And where do I want to go? And if we decide we want to go somewhere, we make the choice. This show is just another way that showcases people can be empowered to achieve their absolute best. And this is one way we're doing it.
And a lot of people in the comments are saying, I saw one comment, I wish I would have caught the handle, but somebody was like their parents, they sat down with their parents and had them watch the show with them. And they, like, everybody was crying in the room. Like, this show, I'm telling y'all, get the tissue ready. Because this show would definitely have you crying. Like, I thought I was going to make it a couple times. I was like, nah, you know, I'm not going to cry every time. Like, this show will have you crying, like, every episode. Just get the tissue ready and everything.
I mean, I just saw a comment from someone named Yulia here that said that she is as a trans woman from Tunisia, seeing Case on the show was everything to me. That's why we do this show, to let people know. And Yulia, hello, baby. It's to let you know and everyone else that you are not alone in this world. A lot of times we think that our experience is so unique. Ain't nobody been through what I've been through, you know? And surprisingly, a lot of times there are a lot of people who have been through the exact same thing that you are going through or that you've been through. And to see them have this opportunity to triumph. And remember, it's a real life docuseries. Everything is not packaged with a bow. I remember our first season, first city we did, Gettysburg, the lady, Erica, Eureka's daughter, Erica, wanted to apologize to her daughter. When the daughter came out as a lesbian or bisexual, she just completely shut it down. She was like, no, they had a whole thing. And so she wanted to do the show to kind of bridge that relationship. She did the show. We were able to get the daughter to come to the show. The daughter left before the end of the show. She saw her mom perform. You could see she was emotionally touched, but she wasn't in a place yet to be able to go. I'm not going to go to her and hug her and say, I accept your apology. They just weren't there yet. And that's real life.
Yeah.
Case, his family back in Tunisia does not support him being gay. And just because he signed up for this HBO show and did a drag performance, we've seen some amazing coming out stories and families accept, but that didn't happen in his case. Now, you don't see this, but he does, in the course of the show, have a FaceTime with his mom. And he does say to her, Mom, I came here, because they knew he sought asylum and knew he stayed here, but they didn't know why.
Yeah.
He said, it's because I'm gay. Wow. And his mom responded to him. Well, we were, all the producers were listening in and watching, but he was crying. So we're like, oh, this isn't going well. We don't understand, it was because they were speaking in Arabic. So we didn't know. And then afterwards he said, I was crying because I was so happy. She said, I don't understand everything, but I'm willing to listen. And I don't ever want to lose you. So that was beautiful. It didn't make it into the show, but you sometimes get that beautiful button and sometimes you don't, because it's real life.
Right.
And we all know that sometimes when we go out there and put ourselves out there, sometimes we are accepted and loved, and sometimes we are shut down or turned away from. But that's real life.
Right.
The only constant that we have is us. And we have to keep lifting ourselves up. We have to keep putting one foot in front of the other and walking forward through life.
Yeah, and I like how you talk about just how real the show is. And you can tell it's a process. I think people miss that it's a process. Like, just because, like you said, just because you're going and doing the show and everything like that, people are not going to change overnight. But it's the fact that it's pointed out in that way. And,
we have important conversations.
Right.
The people aren't having as many conversations. You watch the Del Rio episode with Joey and his family having this conversation about him being, you know, non-binary, and and the mom and dad are like, we don't understand what that is. You're still a
Right.
son. You're still about, and these are real combos. He gets to a point where he's so agitated. He's like, I need a break. I need a timeout. And, you know, witnessing all of this as a viewer at home, that's real life. People, so everyone's not gonna be like, okay, that's who you are. Got it. I love you. Your baby, come and give me a hug. That's just not how all of life is.
Exactly. Yeah.
So our show is just giving a great window into these conversations that definitely need to be had around the world.
Was it, and I know we don't want to get, I know you guys are still working through season 2. Was there like a huge, like would you say there's a most challenging moment for you, or what's, I guess maybe in general, what's the most challenging part about doing the show for you guys?
The most challenging part, I think, is, well, one is the drag show. You know, I'm Shangela, baby. I love a show. I love a production. That's why I'm so happy that Bob, Eureka, and I are producers on the show. We get a say in everything that's happening with regard to the stage show and the production of it and the creation of it. And sometimes you get, you know, we're meeting new people all the time. We got to put together a high-level show in 10 days with people who have never done drag before. And, you know, people sometimes go, oh, yeah, it's a drag show. And I said, baby, you know you're going to be doing drag. Yeah, it's easy. Put the wig on, put the da-da-da-da.
No, it's not.
No, not, especially not when you're Shangela's daughter. Because, baby, we're going to come in here and we're going to turn the party. And you're going to learn these lyrics. So, one, you got to learn a song and learn it so well that you can do it without the music. Because your brain needs to be able to go into autopilot. Second, you're going to have to be able to do it while wearing corset, pads, body, shoes, heels, wigs, hair, jewelry, all those things. And we're learning choreography. And a lot of times we're doing it with dancers, baby. And these folks are like, you want me to do what?
I bet. Like, cause you guys, like you, Bob, and y'all do not play. And I just feel so bad for these people when they figure out that the choreography, the hair, the makeup, like I know y'all will walk them through and train them and get them done, but I'm like, ooh, they are not ready.
But you know, sister, we lift them up too, because we have these amazing teams, our design teams, our makeup teams, hair, wardrobe, props, everything that comes in and really lifts them to help them meet the moment.
Right, yeah.
You know? And that's what I love.
Look, I'm loving watching this. This is, y'all, I'm telling you right now, like after you watch this, pause, go watch We're Here, because everybody is lighting up these comments. I know y'all already know, because I done seen the cry emoji like at least 10 times going through this thing. So I know y'all know about this show. Go check it out. Season 2 is going right now. Shangela, am I pronouncing it right, Shangela? I gotta correct myself, make sure
No, you're totally fine, baby. Shangela, like Angela with an SH. Shangela.
Got it. Shangela. Okay, see, look, see, this show teaches you that too. Make sure you pronouncing the names right. Okay, don't just be calling anybody any kind of pronouns, not pronouncing their name right. Make sure you get it right.
You got it, baby. You got it.
You gotta learn this kind of stuff. You gotta make sure you come correct with it. But I want to ask you though before you leave though, before we sign off. I read something. You've been on like 6 continents now. Do you have a place that you still want to do a show? Like, is there still something on the list? Because you've been everywhere. You've been everywhere.
I have. You know, in 2018, I did a tour of 184 cities. I performed on 6 out of 7 continents. I would love to go to Antarctica and perform. But I'll tell you, there are a couple places that I haven't been yet that I would love to do a show. I was in Asia. I did Bangkok and Hong Kong, and Singapore. But I've never been to Japan. I'd love to go to Tokyo to perform. I'd love to be in India, in India to perform, in Taiwan. I was in South Africa. I did a show in Cape Town, but I never went to Johannesburg and a couple other places. I would love to be able to do that. There's some great places that I still want to explore.
Oh, that'd be cool. We can't wait, Shangela. We can't wait to see you in these different areas. So beautiful, so fabulous. I love it. I hope you come back and talk to us again about whatever you got coming up next.
Consider it done, boo. I surely will.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.